Guys, I'm just trying to move this goalpost. It's not budging. I give up. I was trying to move the goalpost, but it wasn't budging. Do you know what budge means? Budge means to move a little bit. If you're trying to move something, but it's not moving, you can say it's not budging. It means it's not even moving a little bit. It's not budging, okay? So why was I trying to move this goalpost? Well, it was so that I could teach you an idiom in English. And that idiom is to move the goalpost. Okay, so you might hear someone say, the goalpost has been moved, or the goalpost has been shifted, or the goalpost has been changed, or something like that. Something to do with the goalpost moving, okay? Guys, I should have worn my boots. Look at that, I'm just wearing my normal shoes. Snow is a bit deep. Look at that, I'll step here in this fresh snow so you can see how deep it is. There, that's how deep it is. Anyway, so the goalpost has been moved. Have you ever heard that idiom? It means to change the rules of a situation to give yourself an advantage and to make it more challenging for the other people, or to make it unfair for the other person. Okay, so let's imagine we're playing soccer here, right? You can see these goalposts. This is called the goalpost. That's called the crossbar, okay? So to move the goalpost means to change the goal so that the other people, I mean, you're playing the game, right? We already started the game and you're trying to score on this goalpost, right? Let's say you're over there and you kick the ball and you're trying to score a goal into my goal. But I quickly, when you're not looking, I move the goalpost over there. And then when you kick the ball, you miss the goalpost or you don't score. So I made it harder for you to score because I moved the goalpost. You understand? So this is an idiom in English that we use in different situations. For example, let's say your boss says you can go home after you finish sweeping the floor. Okay, and then so you go and you get the broom and you start sweeping the floor and you're excited because you can go home, right? After you sweep the floor, your boss said you could go. So after you're done sweeping the floor, then your boss says, oh, you need to help me move these boxes and then you can go home. Just help me move these boxes. Wait, he changed the goalpost. He moved the goalpost, right? Because the first thing he said was that you could go home after you sweep the floor. That was the goalpost. But then he added something in the middle of your activity that's not fair for you, right? So he changed the goalpost, right? He moved it, he shifted it. You can use whatever different verb you want there, but the word goalpost is always the same, right? So that's not very fair, right? If you say something to someone and then you change it, it gives you an advantage, but it's bad for the other person, right? It's unfair. Another example is, so I was an English teacher in China for over a year, and you know, English teachers in China are always concerned about getting paid, because what these Chinese schools do is they lie to their teachers. Most of them. I mean, I talked to many English teachers over there, and many of these English schools lie to their teachers that they bring in from the US or Canada or other places. And so getting paid on time is really hard in China. Like you have to fight for your salary. You have to basically, you know, I don't know. I was gonna say you have to hold them at gunpoint. That's another idiom. All right, to hold someone at gunpoint means you basically force them to do something, right? If you imagine, if I'm holding you at gunpoint and I'm saying you need to do this, right? It's a serious situation, right? So you almost have to like pin someone down. That's another idiom, to pin someone down. That's a wrestling idiom. If you almost have to like hold someone down and force them to give you something, right? You have to. So in this situation with the schools in China, they would say things like this: we will pay you on the 15th of every month. Okay, so I mean, here in Canada, when most jobs, if they say we're going to pay you on the 15th of every month, then they'll pay you, right? They won't say, oh well, we have to wait a few days to pay you. Or they won't say that. I mean, here in Canada we have like workers' rights, right? And I don't know, most jobs, if it's a normal job, they'll pay you on time. But for the foreign teachers working in China, they always had a problem with getting paid on time. I did too. I experienced this. I worked at 2 different schools there. I experienced that at both schools, where they told us, we're going to pay you on the 15th of every month. But then when the 15th would come, they would say, oh, you know, because it's some special holiday, you know, we have to wait a few days. Or, oh, well, something happened and we need to have the funds released from our head office. And they just constantly made BS excuses. All right, BS is an acronym, or BS is an abbreviation of a bad word. The first part of the word is bull. Second part of the word is the S word. So BS, they just made BS excuses, right? So anyway, that was my experience of working for those schools in China. And every foreign teacher, ask any foreign teacher who's worked in China, they will tell you this is true. Where, you know, they'll say they'll pay you on a certain day, but then when you get to that day, they will make excuses and they won't pay you for probably a few days. So it's frustrating. So they moved the goalpost, right? So they said they're going to pay on the 15th, but then when that happens, when that day comes, they move it to a different day. But you said it was this day. You can't just move it. That's unfair for me, right? It's unfair for the teachers. So it gives them an unfair advantage, right? So anyway, guys, that's my lesson for you. It's an idiom, but you can see why it's a sports. I mean, many of our idioms in English are sports idioms, right? So they deal with like these kinds of things, like goal posts, because that's actually very often what kids do when they play soccer. I don't know if you ever did this when you were a kid, when you played soccer. If someone kicks the ball, you quickly take the goal and you move it so that the ball won't go in the goal, right? It's a way of cheating. So it's giving yourself an unfair advantage, and you're not being very kind to the other person, right? So that's what it means. It means to change the rules of a situation. Okay, so I don't know, maybe you can think of some examples. Let me know some examples down in the comments where somebody has moved the goalpost on you, or maybe you have moved the goalpost on someone else, right? So it's not a pleasant thing to experience, you know, where I don't know, where you think the rules are something, but then the other person changes the rules, and it's I don't know, it's just it's not fair, and it's not nice when that happens, right? So I don't know. So let me know, guys. Those are 2 examples that I could think of my experience in China, where they constantly moved the goalposts. Or maybe they would say, this is your job requirements, you need to do this, this, and this. But then you start the job and suddenly they want you to do this or different things, and you're like, I didn't sign up for this. Oh, that's another example, actually. So one of my first job there, my requirements were to teach children, but suddenly they also wanted me to do like this help them do like these job fair things where they would go to like malls or different places where they do like a presentation kind of thing for the public to recruit. It was like a marketing campaign, right, to recruit parents and children into, you know, to come into the school as new students, right? And they wanted me to do that, and I was like, well, that wasn't my job requirements. Like, you know, how can you move the goalpost on me now, right? My job is to come to the school and to teach kids. That's it. It's not to go off to these different malls and to like do a marketing campaign. I'm not into marketing. I wanted to do teaching. All right, so that's another example where they moved the goalpost. It's unfair because they didn't even tell me, right? It was in the middle of the game that they changed the rules, right? So like well, let's say we start the game, soccer game, right? Here's the goal here, and the other goal is over there, right? We both agree that this is the rules. This is the rules of the game. We can't change those rules. Now, if someone changes them during the game, then they're changing the goalpost, right? So guys, don't change the goalpost on people. But now you know what that means. You know, you might see this term in anywhere, really. You could be reading the news. You could be talking to someone. You could be experiencing something at your work or whatever. So you could use this to your boss. You could say, hey, you know, don't change the goalpost here. Why are you changing the goalpost on me? Or I don't know, just every different situation you could probably use this idiom. So anyway, I just wanted to teach you that idiom because I saw the goal here, and I should have worn my boots because now I got snow on my shoes and my toes are a little bit cold, but I don't have frostbite. That's not that cold out here. I'm not wearing gloves. You can see it's about maybe 0 degrees. Might even be +2, I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. I'll bid you farewell from this beautiful evergreen tree. Evergreen trees always stay green all year round. Look, it's in the middle of winter right now. Actually, it's toward the end of winter. And you can see it's still green, kind of a little bit greenish. So guys, stay safe as always. Hope you have a great day. Hope you're happy and healthy. And as always, I love you so much, and I will see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.